So let's start with this. Moody's Mark Zandi, well-known guy.
Yep.
The first that I've heard in a long, long time used the R word today. Now he's tying the chance for a recession to the fact that we have net negative immigration, something I've been talking about for months and months. And not necessarily tying it to recession, but just saying, hey, you got to pay attention to the fact we've got net negative immigration and its impact on housing, on retail sales, etc. He argues that we might have job growth in the 20 to 50,000 range per month, which multiple people have now said, and which I said a week ago Friday. We talked about it, in fact, when we did the Kathy report. So 20 to 50,000 range instead of 150,000 because of the immigration issue primarily. And he says that would be the neutral number. Around 50,000, 40,000 would be the neutral number, keeping us at 4.2% unemployment. But he also argues, as I did over the weekend, that we could have some negative job prints. And he says that technically, when you have a negative job print, that's when people start that would be the first month, if you will, of a recession. So what do you think about the concept? I think it's nonsense that would be a recession, because you almost need an asterisk next to it saying, well, we're net negative migration. What do you think? What do you think about the idea that we might have 50,000 as our neutral? We might have net negatives we might have negative a couple of months. The impact of immigration. What does all this mean to you?
Well, job growth, the growth in the economy is not a function of jobs. It is a function of growth. Job growth does not necessarily mean economic growth, and job decline or net relative decline is what you're talking about. Instead of growing at 120,000, growing at 50,000, relative job decline does not indicate a decline in the growth rate, because there are multiple factors that go into the growth rate, and you can have one of the factors reduce and others increase. So Zandi's argument has some validity. I mean, reduction in the number of immigrants is a serious problem, because we are not attracting the immigrants we should be attracting, which would enhance the growth rate. But ultimately, everything depends upon how rapidly the economy responds to the 100% write-off of plant and equipment, buildings, plant, and equipment in 1 year. In my judgment, that should spur very, very rapid growth. It should certainly end up with the building trades and manufacturing spurring employment. So he may be right. Whenever we see the interest rate, the long-term interest rate dip below the short-term interest rate, when that reversion, when that reverts back to long-term rates going above those of short-term rates, that's normally when recession starts. This has been a very unusual recession, that we've had this rolling recession continue during this very extended period, because recession normally lasts a very short period of time. So I think we're through the recession, but this is definitely, one negative factor. Now, although we haven't had a recession, I would love to run the numbers to see how many people have stepped out of government, either through choice or through action by the government, in the last 6 months, and how many of those will be joining the ranks of the available pool of employment, which would offset some of Zandi's remarks. So, these single point causes of recession very seldom are actually necessarily recessive. They are an indicator of the complex forces in the economy. So I don't know. I mean, he may be right. My instinct tells me he's not.